There are people in life who, as they grow older, start feeling more and more distant from their parents. When they get hurt or feel wronged, they don't talk to their parents about it. They don't feel like sharing or expressing anything with them. They get used to going long stretches without calling home, and when they do call, it feels like a painful task they have to complete. Sometimes they'd rather be around strangers than spend time with their own parents. From a psychological perspective, this is tied to what's known as an avoidant attachment style. People with this attachment style rarely talk about their feelings. They value independence and see relying on others as a sign of weakness. If a relationship gets too close, they unconsciously push people away. This personality often develops because of experiences in their original family. Psychologists have a term for it: disappointment-based emotional isolation. When kids repeatedly experience disappointment and negative emotional feedback, they start rejecting emotional input from the outside world. It becomes a self-protective mechanism to avoid getting hurt again. Two types of parents often raise children like this. The first type is killjoy parents. For example, you save up to buy them a gift, but they criticize it for being too expensive or impractical. You achieve something great, but they say it's not first place, so what's there to brag about? You take them on a trip, and they complain, "What's so great about this? You're just wasting money." These parents have a special way of doubling your frustrations. When you share joy with them, they drain that joy away. A kid who approaches them excitedly, full of hope, gets doused with cold water. And the worst part is, these parents don't even realize they're doing it. They think they're just telling the truth, always ready to say, "No, you're wrong, that's bad, that's impossible." But their so-called advice doesn't make things better. It doesn't lead to better outcomes. All it does is feed their need to criticize, boosting their sense of superiority as experienced adults. Kids who grow up in this kind of environment are prone to low self-esteem. When they do something, their first thought is, "Am I going to get scolded?" As adults, they struggle to feel relaxed. The second type is controlling parents. They say things like, "I'm doing this for your own good," or, "If you weren't my kid, I wouldn't care at all." They guilt trip you with, "Have you ever thought about why I do this? Don't you have a conscience?" Controlling parents strictly dictate their child's actions, demanding unconditional obedience. At the same time, they are emotionally cold, rarely considering their child's needs or desires. When they say, "I'm doing this for you," what they really mean is, "You better listen to me." There's no real choice. This kind of parenting is hard to recognize, especially in East Asian cultures, where being obedient and respectful to parents is seen as a virtue. Following your parents' demands is expected. Disobedience is labeled as disrespect. But here's the thing. You don't need to change your parents or force yourself to accept their flaws. What you need to do is accept your past, acknowledge all the painful truths, and allow yourself to feel and release those emotions. It's okay to feel sad and angry. Once you let those feelings out, you might realize that some things don't matter as much as you thought. Never forget to